Here are three useful triangles for your national tests. Some of these formulas you do always have to remember. So I've put them in some different categories here. The first one we have here is speed. Speed. How we can calculate speed. Speed is distance divided by time. That's the standard one. If I would like to calculate the speed s, I cover over the speed with my thumb or my finger. And I look at what's left in the triangle. If I cover over the speed here, I actually get left in my triangle distance divided by time. Whereas if I'd wanted to know what the distance had been, if I'd wanted the distance, I'd have covered over the distance with my finger, and I'd have looked at what's left in my triangle. The distance is the same as speed times the time. So we can use this technique to cover over the one that we want with our finger and actually write that one. Distance, cover over distance with our finger, and look at what's left. What's left is speed times time. And it works for all sorts of things. Then we can try and remember, how can we remember these particular things? Well, DST, distance is speed over time, you can remember as don't shout at teachers. Distance is speed times time. Okay, don't shout at teachers. What about the density one then? Here we have density, and it has this funny Greek sign called rho. That's the symbol we always use for density. Well, we can think of the TV program, the music, MTV, but instead we're talking about MPV. MPV, that we know that mass divided by volume is our density. Density, cover it over with our fingers, density, equals mass divided by volume. So here we have, so if we'd wanted to work out the mass instead, we would have had the mass equals, cover over mass with our finger, and see what's left underneath. Well, we can see that it's the density multiplied by the volume. If we had wanted to work out, this last one is actually trying to help you remember the formula for percentage change, because you seem to get that pretty much muddled up from time to time. So percentage change is the same as the difference in percent, so the larger one minus the smaller number of the price. If you've got two prices, the percentage change would be the larger price minus the smaller price divided by whatever the original price was. So percentage change we can think of as being difference divided by original, and then to change it into percentage we multiply it by 100%. Okay, so our formula for percentage change, or remembering how to do it, we could use the term don't check out from maths. Don't check out from maths, believe in yourself. Then you will get that the change is the difference divided by the original. Let's try that. We'd like to know what the percentage change is. Percentage change equals the difference divided by the original times 100%. If they gave us the difference and the original, and they asked us to work out the, if they give us the difference and the percentage change, and they asked us to work out the original price, we would be able to cover over original with our hand and say, okay, original price would equal the difference divided by the percentage change. And then using that, we would be able to get the original price. Let's take a couple of examples here. Let's say that the speed the car travelled at was 140 kilometers per hour, and the time that it travelled for was 20 minutes. And we would like to know the distance travelled. So we'd like to know distance, so we cover over the D with our finger, and then we use our formula. The distance is the same as the speed times the time. Now we've got different units here, so there's no way we can use this data unless we change them so that all the units are the same. The most sensible thing to do here would be to change the minutes into hours. So how many hours is 20 minutes? Well, that would be 20 minutes divided by 60, which is 1/3 of an hour. 1/3 of an hour. So the distance travelled would be the speed, 140 kilometers per hour, multiplied by the time travelled, which would be times 1/3. So we get that the speed will be the distance travelled will be 140 divided by 3. 3's go into 14, 4 times, and 2 left over. 3's go into 20, 6 times, and it will be 2 left over. So we're going to get 46.66666 recurring kilometres, which would be sensible to approximate to 47 kilometres. So the distance we travelled in 20 minutes at a speed of 140 kilometres per hour would be 47 kilometres. Right, that's a typical example of how we could do a speed one. So we got a speed here of approximately 47 kilometres. Let's do a question here with density now then. We have a volume of a cube of ice of 1/2 decimeter cubed, a block of ice. We know that the density of ice is 0.9 of a gram for every centimetre cubed. So they've given us the density in grams per centimetre cubed. Can we do anything with this formula? No, we can't, because here we have decimeters cubed and here we have centimetres cubed. So we have to change the terms so that we've got the same units. We can never work with anything in maths unless we have the same units. So let's change our 1/2 decimeter cubed into centimetres cubed so that then we can start to work with it. How could we do that? Well, let's do it up here on the left-hand side. We have 1/2 decimeter cubed. Decimeters cubed to centimetres cubed, the conversion has to be done by multiplying by 10 cubed. 10 cubed is the same as multiplying by 1,000. We would have to change, that would give us that 1/2 decimeter cubed is equivalent to 500 centimetres cubed. So now we have the volume in centimetres cubed, that equals 500 centimetres cubed. We have the same unit, so now finally we are allowed to work out what the mass would be. To calculate the mass, we look at our triangle. Here's the mass up here. We have to cover that over with our finger, cover the mass over with our finger, and see what the formula tells us that the mass equals. Well, the mass equals the two things that are left over, and it tells us that it's the density times the volume. We know the density is 0.9 gram per centimetre cubed, and we know that the volume that we have is 500 centimetres cubed. We know that 5 nines are 45, so 5 times 0.9 would be 4.5 times 100, giving us 450 grams. So we now know that the mass of our block of ice would be the same as 450 grams. A very important thing here is to make sure that you don't try and do any maths until you've got the same units. So 450 grams. Okay, let's have a look at an example with percentage change then. So let's say that we were buying a shirt. The original price of the shirt was 500 kronas, original price. And the sale price was 400. And the question is, what was the percentage change? Well, the percentage change, percentage C, is going to be the difference in price divided by the original price, and then to change it into percentage, we multiply by 100. The difference in price is going to be 500 minus 400, the original price minus the sale price, divided by the original price. And the original price is of the shirt was 500. So we're not going to be able to write it down here. I've not got enough space left, very tight space here. 500 minus 400 divided by the original, which is 500, times by 100. So 500 minus 400 will be 100. So we get 100 over 500. Let's write it up here. 100 over 500 will be the difference in price divided by the original, times 100%, to change it into percentage. So what do we get here? Well, 100 divided by 500 is the same as a fifth. A fifth times 100. A fifth is the same as the decimal, 0.2. Multiply that by 100 and we'll get 20%. So the percentage change or the percentage reduction in this shirt was a 20% reduction. Important to remember this formula. Percentage change is the difference divided by the original. Don't check out of maths. Once you remember this little formula here, you'll always remember percentage change. And then that makes it quite easily, if using the same technique, we're covering the finger. If you want to work out what the difference in price is, you cover it over with your thumb and look at, how do I work out the difference in price? Well, it's the change times the original. And the same thing for working out the original price. Cover over original price and see what's left over. It's difference divided by change. So using these techniques with these triangles can actually help you work out quite a lot of maths. So good luck with that.